Yo, and today we're going to be talking all about the two banner units that are currently running, including the new Fire Warrior, Abigail. Now we're going to be talking about these units, if you guys should be pulling for them, and what just my first thoughts are on Abigail in general, because she is new to Epic 7. Now keep in mind, because her banner is new, and she is a new unit, her banner will be running for 2 weeks, so you actually have a lot of time to pull for her. While Ludwig's banner, as you can see at the bottom here, will only be available until the 8th of June. Abigail's will be available, like I said, for an extra week. So let's talk about Abigail very quickly. You guys probably don't really know what she does. If you guys do, maybe you guys missed a few points, but her S3, guys, it is going to be a full strip or dispel from one enemy, and will also inflict injuries, and this damage will scale with her max HP. And this injury scaling will increase proportional to the damage that is dealt. So this can go up to 25%, which is very high, and injury is going to be very good in longer fights you're going to find. Next, we have our S2. It is going to be at the start of your turn. You will curse the enemy with the highest attack for one turn. Curse is going to be that when an ally is hit by a single target attack, you'll actually also suffer that damage. So for example, if a enemy target is cursed and you hit a different enemy with a single target attack, the cursed enemy will also take some damage. Also, you're going to see when the ally in the back row receives lethal damage, you'll actually use 30% of Abigail's HP to grant immortality, which is pretty self-explanatory. They can't get killed. And vampirism. Vampirism is very good because it'll actually give them basically lifesteal in the form of 30% of the damage dealt. And this can only activate once every 5 turns, going down to 4 turns. So this can actually activate pretty frequently if you can actually, have her cycle turns fast enough. If you build her tanky enough to survive very long as well, she'll actually be able to get this off maybe twice per fight, especially if the unit in the back is also a bruiser, pretty bulky unit as well. Examples would be like high priority targets with a lot of HP, right? You have like Edward Elric, who's very annoying if you don't focus him down, who can be a very good user of this. You can also actually use this passive for very squishy units as well. You'll only get one of these off most likely, or one proc over Blood Banquet. But the thing is, you can use this on like a Strays or just like any high damage dealing unit that is very squishy, that can really benefit from this, so they can guarantee to get their turn off if they don't get stripped or unbuffable, right? Because this does get blocked by unbuffable. Next, we have our S1, guys, single target attack that will increase their CR. When it is used on Abigail's turn, you have a 35% chance to activate Might as an extra effect, and Might will increase CR of all allies by 15% instead of just herself, and this damage will actually increase proportional to the caster's max HP, and if you soul ribbon this for only 10 souls, you'll activate Might no matter what. So you just basically can use this for 10 souls to actually just CR push your team, which is very nice. Just having a CR push built into your kit is very nice, and if you don't soul burn, you just have a chance, which is 35%, which is pretty low, so you can't really rely on it too much, but it's still a nice bonus to have in her kit. Now, from what I've seen, her damage seems very low, and you're most likely going to just build her on super high HP because of the fact that 1, her damage does scale with her max HP, and 2, you want her to be super tanky because she will be a prime focus target because of the fact that she's just constantly applying curses, which is very annoying, and also because of the fact that, she can actually buff that back row unit pretty frequently, which is very annoying as well. Do I think she'll be good in PvE at all? No, not really. She's mostly a PvP unit, strictly PvP probably, and I think although she won't be like super broken or super strong, she'll definitely be very fun and work in a lot of niche comps and can catch a lot of people off guard. I think she's good for people who like to play very control-y with like, not control-y, but very slow, I'd say, in a bruiser style with her passive, or S2. But she still also works in very fast comps, right? Like I said, if you buff like a Strays or just like a one-shotting unit like an A Sid or Green Sid that's built a little bit slower, then you can actually like, use her S2 very easily because you can just, make it so that your backline unit survives and then they can just one-shot something and also, just get that Vampirism and Immortality buff. So I don't think she's a must pull, but she looks pretty cool and her animations look pretty sick as well. I think if you are, suffering on the lack of bookmarks, then you don't really have to pull for her, to be honest. She won't be like super OP, but you can also just wait until near the end of her event period, which is going to be ending on the 15th of June, to see what people think of her after they test her out more, because it is still very early into her cycle. Next, for her artifact, guys, Golden Rose. So this artifact is very good. You're going to see that when attacking, if the caster's HP is 50% or more, you will do just 16% more damage at plus 30. I think it goes to 12% at plus 15, and when health is less than 50%, you'll actually recover a portion of that damage dealt. Now, this artifact is frequently compared to Sigurd's Scythe because they both have lifesteal built in when you are less than 50% HP, but keep in mind that Golden Rose actually has a bonus effect that when you're above 50%, you'll do extra damage. Now, if you look at Sigurd Scythe, guys, you're going to see that it does give you more lifesteal when you're below 50%, but keep in mind there's no effect. You're basically getting no artifact until you are 50% or less. Also, Sigurd Scythe is only really used on very tanky units, and usually those units will scale with HP, meaning that this increased attack by 25%, although it is still very good, it's not nearly as good as a percent total damage increase because units that use Sigurd Scythe like Fire Ravi and like Rem and stuff like that, they don't really build too much attack, right? You're gonna see them at max like 3k attack for Rem and like 2k for Fire Ravi, and you're just gonna see them stack a lot of crit damage, right? Golden Rose, in comparison, like I said, it will give you damage above 50%, and although you don't get that damage anymore when you're less than 50%, you'll actually still get some healing. So I think this will be, Golden Rose will be better for HP scaling bruisers for sure. And then Sigurd Scythe, guys, definitely going to be better for attack scaling warriors that need more lifesteal. But just keep in mind, once you get into the higher ranks, a lot of people start playing around Sigurd Scythe, so they will try to keep you at around 60%, 70% HP on that unit, and then try to burst them down before that unit can get a turn. Whereas, Golden Rose has less room for counterplay because of the fact that, even if you do keep them at 60 to 70%, you're going to run the risk of taking too much damage, right? So I think Golden Rose overall, very good artifact. I definitely recommend buying this for sure because it is going to be very good on a lot of health scaling warrior bruisers that want a sort of lifesteal artifact built into their kit so they can actually, sustain themselves. Now let's talk very quickly about Ludwig, guys. So I'm not going to waste your time, but if you guys want to hear the explanation, you can keep watching. But this unit sucks, not worth buying, or not worth pulling for. He's just terrible. You can use him in like Banshee one-shot or something like that, but he's just really bad for both PvE and PvP. There are some very cheesy comps you can run with him in PvP, but you just need so many pieces around him and the perfect team comp for it to work, and perfect speed tuning. And with his artifact, guys, not really good either. Some people use this in like Banshee one-shot and Vivian, but I don't think it's really worth it. You're better off just not buying this artifact. If you have this artifact, cool, it'll probably get buffed in the future, but it's also pretty trash. So if you guys want to know why Ludwig is bad, his S3 AoE attack rate penetrates defense, and you're also going to see when you actually defeat an enemy, you'll extend your buff durations, and when you are invincible, you'll penetrate the defense by an additional 30%. Now, this invincibility comes from his S2. After you basically attack, you'll actually stun something, strip buffs by 1 turn, and also give yourself invincibility. And if you actually land that stun, you will actually increase your CR by 50%. So you can actually S2 and then S3 after. The thing is, you need someone else to CR push the Ludwig, and it's just really weird to use because you need to S2 first on Ludwig. So if you have like an Amelia push up the Ludwig and then you S2, you need another unit to push him up again. So you kind of can see where this gets really weird. And honestly, like, you can't build effect resist on him, and there's so much dispels and strips in the game that you can strip this invincibility so easily, and it's just really hard to use. S1 is a single target attack that can steal 1 buff, and you can also CR push yourself if you have a buff. So a pretty interesting kit, but in practice, guys, it is just not good. So I would definitely not recommend pulling for him. You guys can see that he does do a lot of damage actually, but like I said, it's just way too hard to actually make him work. And for time matter, guys, like, you just get increased damage when attacking, but you have to kill an enemy to actually do extra damage and reduce skill cooldown. So this will mostly be used in PvE, because in PvP, usually after an enemy dies, it doesn't matter. You'll either win if you're running a very fast team comp, or in a very slow team comp that uses a unit with time matter, you're not going to get much benefit because the best benefit is from the secondary effect when you kill an enemy. So this artifact is definitely not worth purchasing. So yeah, just to summarize, guys, I know I said a lot in this video, but I just wanted to talk about Abigail and her artifact mostly. But Abigail definitely won't be super broken, but I definitely recommend trying to wait out the period till the end, maybe around like next week, to see what the general opinion is on her, and then see if you want to pull for her. She seems very fun. Her artifact definitely good, definitely recommend buying. And then Ludwig and his artifact, just skip it. No questions asked, it's not worth it. We also have summer banners coming up, so you have to be very careful in how you spend your bookmarks. That being said, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.